The Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. And by Jack in the Box. The double bacon sourdough Jack has slice after slice of bacon. Try it at Jack in the Box. Here he is, Clayton Kershaw, ready to go again. First start since June and his first one at Dodger Stadium. Coming off of the injured list, his 212th career start here, where he's got 109 wins and a 2.20 ERA. And he narrowed that down to the last year plus on the Verizon player profile. Clayton Kershaw is 11-1 over his last 20 starts at home with a 2.27 ERA and just an astounding strikeout to walk ratio here.
Clayton is outstanding at home. He's outstanding anywhere he pitches, but against these Rockies at home, much better. His last outing before going on the IL was in Colorado. So as he went through those Rockies there, it's going to be even better here at sea level. The breaking balls will be sharper. They will be better. The thing that is really the key for him this year, prior to going on that IL, is the fastball location. He is good without it. He is dominant with it.
And the lineup that Kershaw will face off with today, it's driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers, and it has 4 rookies in it. Jurickson Profar leads off, and then the first of those rookies in Ezekiel Tovar. Ryan McMahon, the third baseman, bats third, with Elias Diaz catching and hitting cleanup. Nolan Jones, another one of the rookies. He's one of the bright spots for Bud Black's team this year. Hits 5th in right field. Alan Trejo from Cathedral High School just down the hill here in Los Angeles at second base, hitting 6th. And the former Bruin Michael Toglia with Lourdes Montero batting 8th. And another rookie in Brenton Doyle in center field hitting 9th. Now the Rockies a 500 team in the second half. Still though the worst record in the National League at 45-69 by 4.5 games. And facing off with a hot team in LA, 8-1 in August. 67-46 overall. Clear the Giants by 6 games in the division. Kershaw comes home and off we go with strike 1 on Jurickson Profar. Well, in that start against the Rockies, his final one before hitting the injured list, took a no-hitter into the 6th inning and finished off a month of June where he had a 1.09 ERA. He was probably headed to start his 2nd consecutive All-Star game. His ERA is still the best in the National League. And even after missing a month and a half, he's top 5 in wins still.
He was having a dominant year, and it was sad to watch him walk off the mound in Colorado and say, I think I'm done.
Pop fly left side of the diamond. Kike Hernandez, third start at third. 1 out.
For the Dodgers, it was fortunate that he just meant he was done for that outing and just took some time to get that shoulder healed up and strong. And I think he probably could have come back sooner, but as the season has progressed for the Dodgers, they want to make sure he's ready for October.
And he handles that real well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not a fan of slow playing it. Ezekiel Tovar chops the first one that he sees to Hernandez. 2 batters, 2 plays at the hot corner. Neither one of them that hot, though. And 2 gone here in the first. Yeah, that road trip where the Dodgers went 5-1 through San Diego and Arizona. The defense exceptional. Some highlight plays from several different sources as we take a look at some of those plays presented by Defender.
As the starting pitching rounds into form and the bullpen is doing its job, Caleb Ferguson even pitched in on some of those, but the outfield play was outstanding.
Strike 1 on McMahon. Kershaw not waiting around at all. Inside here, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's missed a bunch of time. He's saying, I got to make up for it. They asked him, you know, did you feel like you filled the tank back up and now you're ready to rock? And he was not having any of that. He said, you're just taking up space. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is your job. He loathes when he can't pitch. Is 2-1. Is hit foul, and it's 2-2.
The last thing Clayton Kershaw is doing is taking up space. The mentoring that he does for the younger pitchers, even for the veterans that have come on board. He is always thinking baseball, talking baseball, and imparting knowledge.
Looking for 1-2-3 first. Curveball hit on the ground under Freeman's glove and into right field. And so a 2-out base runner for the Rockies. We'll see how that one is ruled.
Yeah, that's a rarity for Freddie Freeman. I don't know if it's going to be a hit or an error. It's probably going to be an error, because if Freddie can't make the play, or a hit, if he can't make the play, nobody can. I'll tell you what, it is just barely out of his reach. A long first baseman's glove just couldn't get it in there.
I don't know if you saw the article on The Athletic this week, but there's some conspiracy theories going around about hit and error rulings. As Elias Diaz stands in and takes strike one, it's the lowest rate of errors in Major League history. And there's some pitchers out there saying, you know what? We think Major League Baseball is telling the scorers, if you're splitting hairs, rule it a hit, so it looks like the rule changes are leading to higher averages.
No one would ever do that.
Nobody would ever buy into a conspiracy theory, would they? No pitchers.
No, the longest you're a conspiracy theorist is about 6 months, because it just comes true.
Okay. Spoken like a conspiracy theorist. That is an error, by the way, and the first one of the year on Freddie Freeman.
It'll get flipped in New York.
Curve is in the dirt, and it's 1-2 on Diaz.
I've never seen officiating change in the NBA at all. When rule changes happen, or playoffs, or regular season.
Here's a 1-2. There's a bouncing ball up the middle. That's short. Rojas on the move in time to get Diaz. Clayton Kershaw with a scoreless first inning back. Dodgers come to bat against Ty Blach when you come back. Freeman at the top, and then how about Ahmed Rosario hitting third for the Dodgers today as Will Smith gets the day off. Muncy, Taylor, and Hernandez, then James Outman, Miguel Rojas, and Austin Barnes. Time for the Audi player profile. They face off with a 32-year-old Ty Blach, who's in his 6th season in the major leagues, his 2nd one in Colorado. He's got a 1.16 ERA on this mound. Rest of his career, he's got a 5.32.
He's going to come at you with some firm stuff. The fastball and the cutter about 70% of the time or more. And then these Dodgers, they are patient, but they have power. So watch out for an explosion if he's throwing strikes.
Strike one on Betts. Who went 0 for 4 yesterday and had his 24-game on-base streak in. Still, though, hitting .330 over his last 25. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top run scoring offense for the Dodgers since the team relocated to Los Angeles. 7 runs a game in August. On this 1-1 pitch, Betts takes ball 2. You mentioned the power and the patience. They're 2nd in home runs. They're 1st in walk rate. And it's also been timely hitting. That was the case in yesterday's game when David Peralta won it with a 2-out base hit. Top of the zone there, 2-2. Top team in the National League with runners in scoring position as well.
A lot less home run reliant right now. It's really leveled out the scoring with that wrist that's so good.
Tovar at short. And that's the first out. So here comes Freddie Freeman, who is hitting .471 over his last 20 games. Overall this season, .344. He's now within 25 points, by the way, of Luis Arraez, who spent the first half chasing Ted Williams in the 400 mark.
Almost any time frame for Freddie Freeman is a hot time frame. But lately, it's been multi-hit game after multi-hit game.
In August, he's hitting above 500. And 2nd in LA Dodger history for number of hits through this stage of the season.
As far as Tommy Davis is concerned, he has the most hits in an overall season of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Of the whole franchise, it'd be Babe Herman. Freddie would have to stay this hot to have a shot at Tommy Davis or Babe Herman. This is quite a hot streak he's on.
And it doesn't matter how you slice it either. We want to say the road trip or the month of August or the entire season. 2 balls, 2 strikes on him.
Yeah, every time frame you're going to probably come up with a number that's 450 or above, and you might even come up with some 500s if you grab a week.
On 2-2, Freeman yanks one towards the right field corner. He's got a base hit that Jones tracks down, but not before Freeman turns and heads to second with a double. Automatic. Freddie Freeman.
If he gets 1 hit, it's a double. If he gets 1 hit and it's a double, he's probably going to get another hit during this game. He doesn't stop at 1. Puts 1 in his pocket. This 2-bagger gets him into scoring position. And Rosario, who's in a pretty heady position now, the leader in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he's batting 3rd.
So he's in scoring position for Rosario. It takes ball 1. 43rd double for Freddie Freeman. That is 8 more than anybody else in the league. Got a chase there with a quick pitch.
Quick pitch, changeup. Get the hitter jumping a little bit.
Rosario has knocked in 9 in his first 10 games with the team. Takes a strike, and it's 1-2. And it goes to show you what Dave Roberts and the Dodgers feel about him, that he hits 3rd already.
Some outstanding moves by the front office.
That's wrapped into left field, base hit. It's so hard that Freeman stops at 3rd. And they're at the corners with 1 away.
Well, you got to freeze on a line drive, and especially one at that height, because you don't know if it's going to reach the left fielder or is it going to be high enough to get over the third baseman's head. So Freddie with the right play, moving up only 90 feet, and Rosario showing Dave Roberts, I don't care where you hit me, Skip. There's no pressure batting 3rd on this team.
So they're at 1st and 3rd, 1 gone for Max Muncy. Strike 1 from Block. Muncy a hit and 2 walks in yesterday's game, and quietly over his last 16, he's got an OPS above 1,000.
Not a lot of breaking balls from this lefty, so it's a good matchup for Max. There's a slider right there. Fastball in, slider away. He's also got the cutter and the changeup.
Cracks one on the ground to first. Tolia will go to second, 1 back to first, a double play. Dodgers unable to take advantage of the 2 hits in this first inning, and after 1, no score. On to the second inning, no score. Clayton Kershaw goes back to work, and if he and the Dodgers get 10 Ks in this game, everybody's going to get a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Rockies. Rookie Nolan Jones takes strike 1 from Kershaw. Jones, one of the bright spots for these Rockies. They got him in a trade from Cleveland last November. 6'5", 205 pounds. He absolutely crushes the ball. Only Ohtani and Giancarlo Stanton have hit longer home runs this season than Nolan Jones, and nobody throws it harder from the field. On a 1-1 from Kershaw, Jones takes curve in the dirt. When he plays the infield, his throws average 98.7 miles per hour. When he plays the outfield, his throws average 99.5 miles per hour. Kershaw gets in on him. Count evens 2-2.
He put a show on in batting practice. He was hitting him back of the bullpen wall. He was hitting him into the upper section of the pavilion. Some moon shots.
There's a 2-2 from 22, and it's a curve floated down the left field line. Long run for Chris Taylor, still going. Won't get there, but foul. And a nice play there.
That showed you a little bit of the pop, even though it's not a home run, but it's got almost home run distance, and that is just a weak slicing pop-up down the left field line that's almost out of here.
He says a lot of that power comes from his lower body, which he built up through a lifetime on skates as a hockey player. His older brother is a professional goalie playing in England. And Nolan thought he was going to go the hockey route for a while. Suffered some concussions, though, when he was in high school, and so focused on baseball. Strikes out in his first at-bat against Kershaw. And the first of the night for Kershaw.
6'5" on 3-inch skates. He'd be a very tall hockey player.
There's an enforcer.
He could be an enforcer. He could stand in front of the net on the power play and get in the way of the goalie. You're not moving him out of the way.
No score second inning. Alan Trejo spent his sophomore and junior years of high school at Cathedral, downtown Los Angeles. Up the hill right here, Dodger Stadium. Got his first career major league hit 2 years ago. 27 years old. It's been back and forth between the big leagues and AAA this season. And really, for a lot of these young Rockies, that's what the final couple months of this season is going to be about. Here's your shot. Show us that you are going to be part of the future. Traded away several position players at the deadline. And so this lineup tonight, it's got 4 rookies in it. And that doesn't even include Trejo, who's playing in his 122nd game in the majors, or Montero, who's playing in his 100th. Jam shot down the line and a base hit for Trejo. Betts hustles over to grab it and foul ground. Couldn't get it cleanly, and so Trejo's got a double. And the Rockies have their first hit against Kershaw.
Not hit hard, but hit in the right place in the slicing action. Once it lands like a wedge at Augusta, spins off the green and away from Mookie, and over there on the dirt, really hard with the wall there to get that cleanly and then get it in.
Well, at the top of the list of guys they want to see more from is the former UCLA Bruin Michael Toglia, who's playing most days at first base since they traded C.J. Cron to the Angels. Toglia, who was a first-round pick in 2019, just has not been able to figure it out at the major league level so far, hitting .199 in his first 60 games. On an 0-1 from Kershaw. It's a curve in there for strike 2.
Clayton using every pitch in the pitch mix, so it's showing that the arm is healthy and he's feeling good. There's nothing he's avoiding.
Even threw a couple change-ups in that first inning.
He doesn't waste any pitches. He gets to an 0-2 count. He's attacking still. It's one of the things the young starters on the Dodgers have really noticed when he was in there.
Good stop by Barnes.
And when he preaches it, he lives it. He's not one of these guys who talks about pitching and then all of a sudden doesn't live it when he gets on the mound.
Trejo at second, 1 gone here in the second inning, and a 2-2 from Kershaw is a curve that came to the back door to get him with a little bit of help from Eric Backus, tonight's plate umpire. That's a Hall of Fame strike call.
It sure was. Very edgy. Dodgers last game, the outside cornered righties was very big. Will Smith was not the beneficiary of some of those calls, but Clayton Kershaw today with Barnes behind the plate benefits from that call.
Two outs in this inning on 2 strikeouts, and Alaris Montero takes strike 1 here in his 100th big league game. And it has been a rough go of it for Montero. 1 for his last 16 with 10 Ks. Kershaw coming inside, and it's fouled off quickly. 0-2.
No matter what age Clayton has been or what velocity he is at, he uses both sides of the plate. You see 90 miles an hour coming inside, you go, whoa, that could be dangerous, but not when you're as accurate as Clayton can be.
Here's his 0-2. It's curve in the dirt.
That is the equalizer, no matter what the velocity is on your fastball. You can make the ball bend like that. Your fastball can be almost any velocity.
Here comes Kershaw with a 1-2, and it's fouled off. Montero in some pain as he fouled that one off his leg.
A down and in slider from Clayton Kershaw will get this an awful lot, no matter how much padding you're wearing. The pitch is biting down and in on the righty, and they're hitting the top of it right off their front foot.
You're talking about his accuracy. James Outman got to face him in one of his sim games a couple weeks ago, and he said, first of all, it was like a career highlight for him, being able to face Kershaw, even though it was practice. And that's what stood out to him, how pinpoint everything was. Out of the 1-2 comes home. Montero watches strike 3. It's another changeup. Uh-oh. Kershaw's got a new toy, and he's gotten 2 outs on the change already.
Dodger fans, you can now stream Dodger baseball at home or on the go on the Spectrum Sportsnet app. Sportsnet LA is available 24/7 to authenticated subscribers, so download the Spectrum Sportsnet app today.
Ty Block getting a little bit crafty, dropping down for strike 1 on Chris Taylor. Hernandez and Outman to follow in this second inning. Block's 0-1 is strike 2 as Taylor couldn't lay off. Now Ty Block in this career where he's struggled against just about everybody else, been good against the Dodgers. Some of his most memorable moments have come opposite Clayton Kershaw. October 1st, 2016, 8 shutout innings to beat Kershaw for his first career win. Strikes out Taylor on 3 pitches. Opening day 2018 here. 5 scoreless innings for the Giants, beat Kershaw again, and even got 2 hits of his own that day against Clayton Kershaw. 32 years old. He's in his 6th year with time in the big leagues now. A lot of that was with the Giants. He had a short stint with the Orioles, but then missed 2 full years after Tommy John. And in his 2nd year with the Rockies. Backdoor for a strike on Kike Hernandez. It's 1-1. Hernandez in 12 games with the Dodgers, hitting .317, way more pop than he showed over the first few months in Boston.
They've unlocked something with Kike. He was excited to be back here and excited to hear the adjustments they wanted to make. And he has been hitting the ball hard like that, but in fair territory.
He was still hitting fastballs at a decent clip in Boston. He was not hitting non-fastballs at all. 7 for 15 against non-fastballs so far in a Dodger uniform.
And they're not bloops. There's some extra base hits in there. He's got a different look about him. There's nothing wandering as far as the concentration in the batter's box. He is not lost at all. He is locked in.
Ooh, thought he had Hernandez.
Kike thought maybe he was going to get rung up also. He gave a little hesitation. It is a ball.
Hit him on the toe. And so Hernandez on. James Outman coming up. What a tear he's on. Last 14 games he's reached in all of them. He's hitting .375 in that time. And the only guy that's got a higher on base percentage than James Outman since the All-Star break is Freddie Freeman.
He's been able to lay off breaking balls that don't put him away. He's been able to either hit or take the high fastball, and that has really put him on a streak.
Take strike one from Block. And what he said is that in that month of April, when he was National League Rookie of the Month, he just felt so good that everything looked good enough to swing at, even if it wasn't a strike, and he typically would hit it. Pops this one off the hands. Foul ground at third. McMahon can't get there. Then he gets into May and into June, and he doesn't feel as good, but he still thinks he can get to those pitches because of the success he had in April. But he wasn't. And so he said the key to this breakout the last month is that I'm just being more picky with what I want, because it doesn't feel great every day like it was in that magical month of April. Just picking on the ones that I know I can hit.
He was in swing mode and the league was in adjustment mode. So if the league is starting to attack your holes and even expand on your holes, and you are swinging at everything because the ball looks so big, all of a sudden that's not a good combination.
One of three left-handed hitters in there against Block tonight, and has hit for a higher average against lefties than he has righties this year. A little bit low, ball one.
Been a few heart-stopping pitches here for hitters. PK had one inside. That breaking ball right there, just low. Great take. We got one to hit right there. We're going to try and find a pitch to get him to chase on this one. After you got him in swing mode on a cookie, you're going to throw one into that window, I think, and make it break.
On 1-2. That's exactly what they do, but not enticing enough, and the count evens.
You know, they missed the window. Not like Joe Kelly when he was trying to practice a changeup.
Chatter. Hernandez at first after his hit by the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes on James Outman. No score here in the second. Block throws. Outman skies one to center field for Brenton Doyle. Profar comes on from left. Who wants it? It's Doyle in center at the last moment taking charge.
Center fielder has all the votes here. He is the captain, but he doesn't take over with the route that he started on. He gets there late. He actually broke back into the left center gap before all of a sudden he came busting in.
Two outs. Here's Rojas, and there's ball one from Block. Rojas has made some strides lately at the plate. Extra work put in with the hitting coaches, making some changes to that swing. Got the monkey off his back with his first home run on the last homestand. He corks this one in the air to center field, but just got under it. And it'll come down to Doyle to finish off the second.
Strike out a changeup. What kind of rip was that? Was that an okay changeup? It was a splitty. Look at the index finger on the other side. Clayton Kershaw breaking out a new changeup, and it has been effective so far.
Brenton Doyle takes strike one and a fastball. He had thrown 8 changeups all season. He's thrown 3 of them already tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Doyle. 9-1-2 for the Rockies in this third. And he's always toyed with different grips. He's never had one that's felt great. But mostly he's never felt like he's needed to add that 4th pitch. It's a roller left side picked up by Hernandez. 1 away. Before the top of the order comes up again, a quick word from Morongo.
champions play here. Rebecca C. won over $31,000.
8 out of 9 first pitch strikes for Clayton, no matter what he's pulled the trigger on. So he is attacking the zone, and he does have that new toy that's working.
Jurickson Profar popped out his first time, takes strike one. Of course, it was just fastball, curveball when he got to the big leagues, and he was getting hit around, and he was about to get sent down. Rick Honeycutt and Joe Torre, Don Mattingly, who was the hitting coach at the time, all pulled him into the office, and they said, look, something's got to change. And Clayton be the first to tell you he's a pretty hard-headed guy. Right then he was a little bit resistant to change. He had gotten to the big leagues his way. That's up the middle and past a diving Rojas into left center field. Profar's got a one-out hit. And it was right after that that he went out and said, okay, I'm going to try a slider. I'm going to try to find a pitch that's between the fastball and the curve. And almost right away, Rick Honeycutt standing there watching him throw it, saying, yeah, that's going to work. And not only did it work, it transformed him.
Well, it put him into the Hall of Fame with all of his work and the mechanical work that he does and how grueling he works at his craft. He has perfected his posture, his delivery, and the consistency of it to the point where he can almost tell you what's coming, and it's still hard to hit because it's so accurate. And it's got such good relationships to all the different pitches. The high fastball to the curveball, the low fastball to the slider.
Chested down by Barnes, ball two.
Austin's gotten a workout back there tonight already, doing a nice job blocking those curveballs. It's really good to see how sharp they are for Clayton, that he's not missing arm side high with those, that he's got a lot of confidence in the strength in his shoulder and able to really pull through on those pitches.
The official medical wording on the shoulder was cranky shoulder. I think Clayton gave it that designation.
Yeah. Who needs details when you've got cranky?
That's right. I think that we can all understand that a lot better than whatever the doctor calls it.
Yeah.
Cranky shoulder. But it was extra frustrating for him because that cranky shoulder stopped being cranky way earlier than they said. They felt like they were safe with him going. So he's sitting there in, mid to late June saying, I feel like I can go cut it loose pretty good. But they had to temper him, and he's doing a better job, he says, at this stage of his career, even though he hates it, of understanding. Up the middle, Rojas shovels it to Rosario. On to first, a double play. 6-4-3, twin killing. No score, middle three.
Brewers for Mexican Heritage Night at Dodger Stadium, presented by Advance Auto Parts. For tickets and more information, visit dodgers.com/ticketpacks.
All right, Kirsten, as part of the longest homestand of the season, these 4 with the Rockies and then 3 against Milwaukee, 3 against Miami, couple postseason contenders. 9-1-2 coming up against Ty Block. No balls, 2 strikes on Barnes.
That's a beautiful shot. That's what it feels like to be in the Dodger dugout. I know that's from the seats right next to it, but that's what it feels like. Great views all around this stadium.
Two and two. I'm biased, but we got a really good one too.
Oh yeah, we do.
Block kicks and throws. Barnes leaves it up there. Count goes full.
How long did you have that view, Mr. Scully? 67 years.
Strike 3 called. 1 gone here in the third as Block gets his second K.
Austin will see when he takes a look at this that it was a strike. Just adjust his sights.
Back to the top in bets. Who we were talking about earlier this season was happy seeing the on-base plus slugging where it was. Elite territory up above 900. Was lamenting the fact that the average was down around 250. Was hoping that it could get back up. He said, I'd like to be like 280 with a high OPS. Well, he's at 282 here in early August and showing no signs of slowing. Ahead 3-0.
May the best man win, but I just hope that he and Freddie don't steal votes from each other. All of a sudden, that one of them has a shot at the MVP.
4-pitch walk. First one issued by Block. And Betts has reached in 25 of his last 26 games. No, Freddie doubled his first time. That average well above 500 so far in August. It's up to 346 for the year. And since coming to the Dodgers, the #1 on-base plus slugging in the National League. Only guy higher across baseball, Aaron Judge.
Those stats are not built against righties only. He has a higher average against left-handers and higher OPS. Doesn't matter how you throw it, he's going to hit it.
Roller to second. Trejo goes to second one. Quick turn to first late.
You get as many hits as Freddie Freeman does. You hit a roller like this, there could be some disappointment that sets in, but not for him. It's hit slow enough, and he busts it out of the box to make sure that the Dodgers have a 2-out opportunity because he hustled down there and stayed out of the double play.
Ahmed Rosario with 2 gone in this 3rd inning. He cracked a line drive base hit his first time up. And he flies the first one that he sees to Jones in right field. Ty Block doing it again against the Dodgers. 3 scoreless innings tonight.
Presented by Cadillac. Clayton Kershaw and his wife Ellen host Kershaw's Dodger teammates and Hollywood A-listers at their annual Ping Pong for Purpose charity event at Dodger Stadium. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers. That's tomorrow after the postgame show.
3 scoreless innings and Clayton Kershaw's return from the injured list. Joe, Oral, and Kirsten back here at Dodger Stadium. First in a 4-game series between the Dodgers and the Rockies. The Rockies have McMahon, Diaz, and Jones coming up here in the 4th. Bunts it foul. Hit it hard his first time, reached on an error, scooted under the glove of Freeman at first. McMahon's having a good season, probably his best season, although he's had some good ones. He's on his way to a 4th consecutive 20 home run season when you throw out 2020. An elite defense. Now, Nolan Arenado's had monopoly on Gold Gloves at 3rd, but has had a down year defensively, eye test and numbers test. McMahon's getting rated as the top defensive 3rd baseman in the National League, and perhaps this is his chance to go from Gold Glove finalist to actually winning one. So Arenado's won it all 9 years he's been in the big leagues. Chopper along first and foul.
It's quite an accomplishment to knock out the champ. Even if the champ's having a tough year. There's a lot of momentum when a guy's won 9 in a row. I think he's won a platinum too.
At least one.
Yeah. Yadier Molina was a platinum Gold Glover. That sounds odd. Platinum gold.
Well, it's extra impressive when you consider that McMahon would tell you that he used to be a terrible defender right when he was getting close to getting to the big leagues. But then 1 year at instructionals, instead of even playing in the games, he just went and worked on his defense for a full month. Showed up the next spring training, a different guy defensively. He was in the big leagues that year, and the defense has been top of the resume for him in his time in the big leagues. Chops out to first here, 1 gone in the 4th.
Number 35, Diaz.
Diaz is the first guy to see that split change of Kershaw. Threw it twice to him and got him to ground out to short with it.
So far as Clayton has thrown that changeup, it doesn't look like he's trying to get exceptional movement with it. He's just splitting his fingers to take some velocity off. And who knows how long he keeps it or throws it, how often, but there could be some experimentation as he goes forward with it.
And he likes the idea of it just being on the hitter's plate, them seeing it when they're looking at scouting reports.
A little harder to make a decision or to zone in on him.
Sky high to center field, James Outman. 2 out. And now word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Well, successful return to this point for Clayton Kershaw. Just 2 hits against him over 3 2/3, and now faced Nolan Jones, who struck out his first time. Joining a rotation that has been much better lately. You know, for a lot of his time away, it was like, man, oh man, they desperately need Kershaw, and of course they need Kershaw to go where they want to go. But best ERA in the National League in this month of August, this rotation, 2.35, stabilized by the arrival of Lance Lynn. Ground ball off of the hands to second. Backhand Rosario. 1, 2, 3, 4th for Clayton Kershaw. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The El Diablo Burger is back. My Rewards members get a single for just $6.66 on the Carl's Jr. app. Dodger MVP trophies, including Clayton Kershaw in 2014. Included as no-hitter against these Rockies. 1 ball, no strikes on Max Muncy. Dodgers trying to break through against Cy Block. Cracked to second on a bounce. Trejo. 1 gone in the 4th. The Block pitching for his hometown team, pitching for the Colorado Rockies. Not just pitching for his hometown team, but this was a kid who knew every player on the Rockies. He'd go to 30 or 40 games a year. His parents actually took him to the very first home game in franchise history, which was at the old Mile High football stadium. He was 2.5 years old at that point. Brought him home in a Rockies onesie. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And now pitching for him. Second season with him. A couple minor league contracts that he signed. Delivers to Chris Taylor. Outside, ball 1.
The Dodgers are going to get to him. It might be on his sinking fastball. The Dodgers are 0 for 7 against that pitch so far. He's not afraid. He gets right back on the rubber. By the time he receives the ball back from his catcher, he's like on top of the rubber, ready to go.
No pitch clock needed. Struck out Taylor on 3 pitches his first time. Ahead of him 1 and 2.
The great Jim Cott used to pitch like that. Quick to get back on top of the hitters, and when you're pitching well, it feels like you're suffocating them.
We ground ball to short. Tovar. Teaching tape. Charge of that grounder. They rave about his defense. And even on the simple plays like that, you can see a little bit of why.
Well, they're looking for foundational pieces with this Rockies team, and they've been very good at developing shortstops.
Troy Tulowitzki, Trevor Story, and now Tovar, just 22 years old, just turned 22. Hernandez takes inside, 1-0.
You better get the routine outs in Colorado. You don't want to be giving people extra outs in that ballpark.
And there's been too much of that this year. Overall defensively not great. And that's a big part of the reason why, as a team, the ERA is .550. The rotation has an ERA above 6. Always hard to pitch in that ballpark, and they've dealt with a number of injuries to the rotation. Bud Black, it's amazing what he's done in his 7th season as the manager. And he just always seems to be right here. Never too high, never too low. You wouldn't be surprised if he showed up one day and all his hair was gone. I mean, Jim Leyland lasted 1 year managing the Rockies. It was so hard to live managing in that ballpark. But Leyland, 7 seasons. Steady. Line out to center. Scoreless 4 innings for Block. Steelers. Clayton Kershaw has started his return from the injured list with 4 scoreless innings. That is 20 straight, back to the finish of June for him, which included 6 innings against these Rockies. And for the rotation, that's 16 straight scoreless. Back into the Arizona series, 2-game sweep there in San Diego. No score to the 5th. Alan Trejo leads off and takes ball 1 from Kershaw.
The average age of the rotation has gone up, and so has the effectiveness. We've had 4 starters in a row go at least 6 innings. Last time that happened this year were the first 4 starts of the year. And it would be very odd if Clayton gets cut short because of pitch count, that he would be the one that breaks that streak of 6 innings at least from the starter.
Chopper left side. Hernandez, good range, good throw. Kike Hernandez starting his 3rd game at third base since 2019.
Dodgers didn't hit on the field today as far as batting practice on the field, but they took a lot of fielding practice, and Kike was out there early practicing plays like that.
Even with the bat not as good in Boston, this has remained. There's some throwing errors early this year as shortstop, but the fact that you can put him anywhere and trust him. Routine bouncer as he saws off Tolia. 2 up and 2 down in the 5th.
Clayton doing an amazing job with this pitch count at only 60. Trying to get an out here, and maybe we'll get to see him in the 6th. It'd be very odd if he's the guy that breaks the streak, and only because of the IL and the endurance that they're trying to look after him. He was the guy when he was pre-IL that was averaging almost 6 innings a game, and the rest of the rotation was averaging below 5. So he was the endurance marker for the club.
Struck out Montero his first time, home with an 0-1. Montero watches it take off. That splitter again.
Might have slipped out a little bit. Slipped off the fork.
Hate when that happens. High fly ball, deep left center field. Outman to the track, to the wall. It's gone. And Aluris Montero has started the scoring with a skyscraping home run against Kershaw here in the 5th.
Montero hits it out, and then a fan has a lot of peer pressure on him to throw it back, and he ends up doing it after everybody convinces him to throw it back on the field. Kershaw, Clayton wishes he could have that one back.
Rockies draw first blood, 1-0 here in the 5th inning. And now Brenton Doyle fouls back Kershaw's first pitch.
You're not going to string a lot of hits against Clayton Kershaw, so these big swings from the Rockies are pretty much a strategy on how to get some runs off of him.
Strike 2.
Couple of sim games, no rehab starts. He says, I'm ready, and he has been ready.
Gets Doyle. Rockies get him, though. Home run from Montero, halfway home in a 1-0 game. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Bottom of the 5th inning here in Los Angeles. Rockies have a 1-0 lead as Montero homers against Kershaw. Looks like his night is finished at 67 pitches, 5 innings. There's already some action down in the Dodger bullpen as Dave Roberts and Kershaw chat.
I'm sure begrudgingly he is out of the game, but you want your starters to be that competitive.
This is something Dave Roberts said you could expect to see tonight. Ryan Yarbrough ready to follow Kershaw. Bottom of the Dodge order against Ty Blach. Back-to-back hits against Blach in the first inning, none since. 2 balls, 1 strike on Outman. 4th start for Blach. Began this season in the bullpen for the Rockies. Struggled mightily. Had an 8 ERA and they sent him down. But he's got a 2.40 in his 4 games since coming back. Outman grounds out to second, 1 gone. And Ty says he's looking at this as a chance to prove that he can still do it because he's on another 1-year minor league contract. 32 years old at this point. It's been a long time since he's been a starter in the major leagues. So different than the young guys in the lineup, but the same idea. He wants to prove he can be part of the future for, if not the Rockies, somebody. His first pitch to Rojas is pinpoint for a strike.
11 in a row here so far after that. Dodgers started out 2 for 3.
The lefty's 1-1 is pulled up the middle, stabbed by Tovar, throws it across and gets Rojas. Somebody who can certainly appreciate a play like that. Ezequiel Tovar takes a hit away from Rojas.
And Miggy has made plenty of plays down on his knees and popping up. Tovar experienced enough at short to say, I'm going to throw this ball into the ground and let it skip over there. Does that perfectly.
Barnes are 2 away. In the air to left field. Profar drifting back. He's got it. Lightning quick 5th inning and a 1-0 game.
The 2023 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza, plus a teaching kit. Enter online at spectrumeducator.com.
Arnone Lowry's Montero home run. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead as this game rolls along to the 6th. And Ryan Yarbrough replaces Clayton Kershaw for his 2nd outing with the Dodgers.
They haven't been avoiding him. He's had 4 days rest because he went 4 1/3 against the Padres, and it was outstanding. 63 pitches.
Gave up just 1 run in that game. Erickson Profar takes a strike from Yarbrough. 6'5" left-hander. Born in Austin, Texas. Grew up in Florida. Brings in a 1 to Profar and misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, all in all, no doubt a really encouraging return from Kershaw tonight.
Yeah, really was outstanding. The first pitch strikes, which are typical for him. There was nothing in the spray pattern that you go, okay, something's going on. He looked perfectly healthy, strong. Velocity up to 92, 93 on the fastball. Then he broke out the new toy. The old toys were working, and he had a new toy with a little split change.
Weak little pop-up, shallow center field. Rojas and Rosario. Rosario says that he got 2 shortstops calling for it there, and the shortstop playing second took it.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Dodger Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Ezequiel Tovar, we've seen make some solid defensive plays in this game. Take strike one from Yarbrough. Grew up in Venezuela, dreaming of being the next Omar Vizquel. Of course, a great shortstop from there. And it was Vizquel that Tovar reminded the Rockies of the first time they watched him play when he was just 15 years old. That he was small, they didn't know if he'd hit, but they felt like the glove was big league ready the first time they saw him. And an 0-2 from Yarbrough. Tovar reaches out and fouls it off.
If you're being compared to Omar Vizquel, you are very special. I got that view up close and personal with my 3 years in Cleveland. And it's ridiculous how good he was. I know Ozzie Smith gets a lot of the accolades of the Wizard, but Vizquel was right there with him.
Into left center field. Long run for Outman. Not going to get there. Tovar drops it in. Hangs down with a long single. What was it about Vizquel that set him apart?
I'd say the balls that you didn't anticipate being outs when you've stood on a mound for as long as I did, and the ground balls that go behind you, and all of a sudden you turn and you see there's somebody there and they're catching them. The way he caught pop-ups in the sun without sunglasses, he used the bill of his hat to reverse the sun almost, where he caught them with his back to home plate. All kinds of things. The turn at shortstop, it seemed like the ball never touched the glove. It was deflected off the heel of his glove into his throwing hand, so he was that quick on the turn.
And Nomar, a great shortstop of his own, was talking about Miguel Rojas's hands, how those stand out to him, and he brought up Vizquel and his hands, how quick they were.
Yeah. It's hard to describe. It's like describing a magician.
1-2.
It's sleight of hand. It really is what they do, and it's done so quickly and so smoothly that it's just so effortlessly. You go, wow.
Nomar said that Vizquel tried to think of his glove hand like a dead fish. And just let the ball kind of smack into it. Instead of stiff wrist, hard-handed.
He wasn't really trying to catch it.
Two and two on McMahon. Big jump over there, and then a toss over, but Tofar's back in. Big jump, and then threw on the brakes and was able to get back.
Some runners are trying to read the pitcher. Tovar was trying to time the pitcher, was able to get back. There was no movement from the mound that triggered that reaction. He was just trying to time it up.
Second disengagement there. He does it again. Got to get him this time, and does. Ryan Yarbrough picks off Ezequiel Tovar. If he doesn't get him successfully, that's a balk.
First time we've seen it this year. Well done. He does it with a step-off move. The last time he tried to stride first to get him, that one he stepped off back and got it over there quicker.
Yeah, now a 2-2 to McMahon. He strikes him out, and just like that, the inning ends. Ryan Yarbrough showing him something. 1-0 game, middle six. Performance brought to you by the all-new Nissan Araya. Tie block into the sixth inning for the first time in nearly 4 years. August 18, 2019, pre-Tommy John surgery. Blocked 5 scoreless innings against one of the top offenses in baseball.
been a little surprising for me, not because of the track record. He has pitched very well on this Dodger Stadium mound, but the fact that he's doing it mostly with hard stuff. It's not a devastating breaking ball. It's just been fastball location, the sinker, and the cutter.
Top of the order. Dodgers getting their third look against him. Down just 1 run. 1 swing away from tying it up. Ball 1 on Mookie Betts, who earned the lone walk against Block in this game. 1-0 pitch. Lifted to right. Easy one for Jones. Well, the most pitches that Block has thrown in a game this year, 80. His last time out against St. Louis is at 70 here, but showing no signs of tiring.
Not at all. He gets right back on the rubber, comes right back at you. They do have a little action down there in the bullpen, but I don't think that is because there's risk on the mound, just a just-in-case policy.
Freddie Freeman, who's got one of the 2 hits, takes low, 1-0. Both those hits came in the first inning. Freeman doubled, Rosario singled, but then Block got Muncy to bounce into a double play to get out of it. Dodgers don't have a hit since. Three 3-0 on Freeman.
Where he'll have the green light, but he will keyhole him to exactly where he wants it.
4-pitch walk. Tying run reaches, as Freeman does for the 2nd time tonight. And here's Rosario.
This didn't take long in his last at bat. He has always been aggressive, especially against left-handed pitchers. He doesn't need any information. He just needs the ball to cross near the plate.
Strike 1 from Block.
Taken all the way.
Just like I called it.
Yep.
Rosario hitting 3rd for the first time. Much different looking lineup against left-handed pitching with the additions of Rosario and Hernandez. Ball and a strike. "27 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. He's one of the young guys in this lineup now. 2nd youngest right there with James Outman, just a year older than Outman. Grounds this one to short. Tovar over to grab it to 2nd one. On to first, a double play, and Ty Block has thrown 6 scoreless innings at Dodger Stadium. On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. Dodgers down 1-0 on a Montero home run. Ryan Yarbrough faces the heart of the order, misses high. Ball 1 on Elias Diaz. Ty Block, in every other ballpark in the majors, has a .532 career ERA. 29 innings here, he's got a .092. 3 runs in 29 1/3.
Think you can get him through waivers? He likes this place. Sign him to you only pitch at home contract.
Got to figure that he's going to earn a job with the Rockies full time. That's fly to right field and caught by Betts. His hometown team we talked about, he loves pitching for them. They're desperate to find guys who can handle pitching at Coors Field half of the time. He spends his off seasons there, and so he's pitching in that environment year round. And by all accounts, he's somebody that everybody loves having around. Good clubhouse presence. Somebody pitching for his big league life, and yeah, and he's doing great. 1 away in the 7th. Nolan Jones takes a strike from Ryan Yarbrough.
Probably got 10, 11 starts left, possibly. Wherever they decide. Keep proving his point. A lot of these Rockies have a runway now of a couple of months to really prove their worth. They're not playing for anything in the division. It's all about showing that they could be a piece.
2-1 from Yarborough to Jones. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
89 miles an hour, a good portion of the plate, but a herky-jerky delivery. And trust in his stuff.
Well, between Kershaw and Yarborough, 5 strikeouts tonight, 5 more, and everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. Jumbo Jack, and then Fernando Valenzuela night as his number 34 is retired. Swing and a miss. Dropped down and swept that thing in there for strike 3.
Getting closer to that free Jumbo Jack. This number 6 right here. A little slider.
Two gone, 7th inning for Alan Trejo. Man, it sure is fun to watch a guy, and you touched on it, but 87, not going to break a pane of glass, but 4 different pitches, uses them all equally. Different ways to be good. So many different ways to be good in this sport.
Changing speed and locating, that's what it's about. A little bit of late movement. If you're a guy that's at this velocity but used to throw 97, it's really hard to see that equation. But if you've thrown this velocity your whole life and figured out a way to succeed, you seem to be a little braver. The guys that have lost velocity have a tough time getting themselves down in this equation. But the guys that have pitched their way through amateur ball, college ball, and then the big leagues, they have a different level of toughness.
2-1. Left side, Hernandez on a short hop. Not an easy play, but he tends to make them all look like they are. Stretch time at Dodger Stadium. Rockies 1, Dodgers nothing.
Join us this weekend as we celebrate the legacy of Fernando Valenzuela. Presented by Yamava. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions and plan to be here early. Ceremony tomorrow starts at 6:20. Fernando deserves a packed house.
Max Muncy leads off this 7th for the Dodgers. There's the man of the weekend. Dodgers down 1-0. Side block. Stays in. Strike on Muncy, 1-1. Hadn't pitched into the 6th since August of 2019. Now here he is in the 7th. About to throw his 80th pitch, which will match his season high.
He's showing me something going back out there. You could take this, put it on your resume, and go, you know what? Enough's enough.
And he gets ahead 1-2.
And he has the ability right now to put this on his resume and say, I shut the Dodgers down in Dodger Stadium. You know, how can you not give me a job next year?
Try to bring that breaking pitch back. Just misses, though. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Muncy.
A lot of guys are looking over their shoulder right now, looking at the bullpen, like what's going on, looking for help, looking to their manager like, don't you want to shake my hand?
Full count. Never right-hander Tommy Doyle ready. Chris Taylor's on deck, but Dave Roberts has the left-handers available off of the bench to counter any move. Payoff pitch. Muncy hits one in the air to right field. Jones is going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. It is tied. Max Muncy, 1-1.
Max stays with this pitch just long enough. It's on the inner half, almost the inside corner. It made him open up a little bit, but boy, he got enough.
28th home run of the season for Max Muncy. Just got enough. And it's enough at this point to tie the game. One game, one too many for Ty Block. Bud Black and the Rockies deeply appreciating the work Block did tonight. Into the bullpen he goes. Brand new game in the 7th after Muncie's 28. Cam, another look at Max Muncie's leadoff home run here in the 7th, tying the game at 1.
Max got to it, and when he gets to it off of a left-handed pitcher, as far as a hit, well, 8 of his 12 hits against lefties have been home runs.
And so back at square one, tied at 1. Into both bullpens. Ty Block is finished, 6+ innings, just the 1 run. Impressive stuff from him. Hands it off to Tommy Doyle out of the Rockies bullpen. First pitch to Chris Taylor, who stays in to face the righty, is cut on and miss. Doyle's 27 years old. He's a 2nd-round draft pick in 2017 out of same place that produced Chris Taylor, UVA. Debuted in 2020, but then he underwent shoulder surgery and is in the big leagues for the first time in 3 years.
Mostly fastball cutter right now, but he's been very successful against right-handed hitters. They're hitting below 100 off of him.
Cranked to left center field. That's a base hit for Taylor. Profar takes his time getting to it, and Taylor thought about trying to turn it into 2. Hangs on with a loud single.
Only the 3rd hit this year and 24 at-bats that Doyle has given up against a righty. Chris Taylor getting the latest knock off of him right here. Dave Roberts giving his guys a chance. The left-on-left situation with Peralta last night that got the 2 runs in with a 2-0 win, and now right-on-right situation, Chris Taylor coming through.
Go ahead run aboard. Kike Hernandez up, fouling off the first pitch from Doyle. Kike lined to center his last time after he got hit on the foot his first time up. You know, we were talking before the game about Hernandez off to this good start, and you said he might do something special for this group. Combined with what he's done in the past in big games, he's always been a good postseason hitter. With what you've seen so far,
I just love his approach. This is what he looks like in the playoffs with the Dodgers. We've seen him kind of pressing to become an everyday player with his first go-round with the Dodgers, then settling into more of a utility role, but still pressing like he wants to get 3 hits in every at-bat. But he looks different to me. He looks like...
Taylor runs up the middle. Oh, my goodness. That is a double play. And that is as poor luck as you can find on a baseball field. Runner moving with a tremendous jump, takes the second baseman Trejo to the bag, which also takes him right to where this ball was scorched.
Is the foot on the bag as he catches the ball, or is he diving and moving off of it? As he's diving, I think the foot is starting to come off. It'll be interesting to see if the Dodgers want to review this or not. It happened so fast.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are challenging the out call at second base.
The foot's on the bag, then there's the dive, and as he dives to catch the ball, is the foot come off the bag so they're not in contact together. It looks like he's out. Foot looks like it's on the backside of the bag.
I mean, if the ball's not put in play, Taylor steals second easily. If Taylor's not stealing second, that ball's through. But he put it all together, and it's going to be a double play on a heck of a play by Trejo.
It is quite a play. A very odd play, but outstanding play, whatever way the call goes.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is out. Los Angeles loses the challenge.
So that fizzles quickly.
It's a very short DP lane, 4-3.
Base is empty, 2 gone. Here's Outman. Had the chance to extend his 14-game on-base streak at 0 for 2 so far. Went around and a fastball. Offered there as well, 0-2. On 3 pitches, Doyle gets Outman. But the Dodgers tie the game. Max Muncy's 28th home run makes it 1-1 after 7.
We'll head night on Saturday, August 19th, when the Dodgers take on Miami. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
All right, Kirsten tied at 1 as we go to the 8th inning. Michael Toglia takes high from Ryan Yarbrough. First in a 4-game series between these clubs, in a series that's been dominated by LA this year, winning 4 of the first 5 matchups, scoring 9 runs a game in those 5. Sawed off, rolled the short. Rojas for the first out of the 8th. So it brings up Montero, who's the hero in this game for the Rockies from an offensive perspective, homering against Clayton Kershaw.
Up and away, but he pulled it and had enough power.
Golfs this one down the left field line, hooking out of play. 24 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. He originally signed with the St. Louis Cardinals and then was one of the 5 players the Rockies got in the Arenado deal. And so he'll always have that attached to him and the pressure that comes with that. Had a huge spring training. He was the opening day 3rd baseman for the Rockies, but struggled. Sent him down to AAA, where he absolutely scorched the earth. 35 games, hit .359, 15 home runs, 48 knocked in 35 games. And then they brought him back up, but it's been more of the same, with the average coming into the game at .197, the lowest on base percentage in the National League. Tonight, though, one of his shining nights with the homer against Kershaw. The lone tally for the Rockies. He chases one that's a foot off of the plate here. 2 gone in the 8th.
One thing about AAA for Colorado, it is in Albuquerque.
Those numbers always look pretty good.
I had an opportunity, but I don't think I should call it an opportunity to pitch in the Pacific Coast League for Albuquerque.
you survived.
You can have a 4.5 ERA and be in the top 5 in ERA in the league. It is a offensive place to play, and probably the Rockies are there to get their pitchers used to having the ball carry. They're a little more battle tested at the altitude.
Strike on Doyle. Strike 2 on Doyle.
Ryan Yarbrough, kind of the tie block of the Dodgers. Just coming at you, cutting it, sinking it, changing speeds.
He's faced the minimum over the first 8 that he's faced. Gave up the 1 single to Tovar, but picked him off. So it's 7 innings in his 2 games with the Dodgers, just 1 run. 1-2 to Doyle. Strikes him out. Ryan Yarbrough, 4 Ks over 3 innings of work. Tied at 1, middle 8. Sportsnet Dodgers, John and Jerry and Nomar. Tied at 1, bottom of the 8th inning, and Dave Roberts going for the kill here. David Peralta pinch hitting for Rojas, and then Hayward's on deck to pinch hit for Barnes. Tommy Doyle, right-hander, comes home. Last night's hero Peralta takes ball 1. Now Peralta, the #1 hitter against the Rockies among active players, .340 in his career. Most of that spent in the division with Arizona. Ahead 2-0.
David Peralta, the ex-Snake, bit the Snakes last night. It was kind of fun to see how some of that maybe came into Dave Roberts' thinking.
On this 2-0 pitch, takes away ball 3. And he said that he was looking over his shoulder thinking he was probably going to get pinch hit for because it was a lefty-lefty matchup. And then Dave Roberts nodded and said, no, you got it. And David talked about how much that meant to him, that trust to have that chance. And he came through.
The at-bat before, or 2 at-bats before, he had a bases-loaded situation where he grounded into a double play, but Dave Roberts stayed with him.
On this 3-1, he lifts it down the left field line. That'll peel into the seats. Count goes full. One of the big stories on this Dodger team, Peralta and the other veterans in their first years here. Peralta to that guy on deck, to Miguel Rojas and JD Martinez, and now the veterans they've brought in at the deadline. On 3-2, breaks it foul, stays alive. It at this point is a relatively old team, and that's not the worst thing as you look ahead to a battle-tested group, an experienced group when the games matter most.
Send some good thoughts up for JD Martinez and getting his health back. He is a key part of this offense.
That's ball 4. Missed everything except home plate umpire Eric Backus. And so a pinch hit, leadoff walk for Peralta. Go ahead, run aboard, and Jason Hayward coming up. Jason hitting .500 against the Rockies this year with a couple home runs.
Visit for a little strategy here. Jason Hayward, when he gets the bat on the ball, he has hit the ball very hard. That's not what they'll be relaying out there on the mound.
Daniel Bard gets loose.
As the Rockies play out this string, you won't always see Bud Black making changes to kind of hit left-on-left situations or right-on-right situations. He wants to see who these guys are. And so in scouting his own Rockies, he leave them in maybe not always the best situation, but to see what kind of toughness they have and what kind of ability they have.
Tommy Doyle to Jason Hayward. Not close. Ball 1. Hayward 2 hits on his birthday yesterday, turning 34. Chance for a big hit here. Tie game 8th inning. Peralta's at first. 1-0 comes home, and Hayward takes a strike. It's 1-1. Dodgers trying to start August 9-1. Best record in the National League since the break, looking for their 17th win out of their first 25 games of the second half. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul, strike 2.
Even Jason's foul balls are hit hard.
Doyle throws. Hayward grounds one to second. Trejo to second one. On to first late. Rockies are trying to turn their third double play of the game instead of fielder's choice.
They have been very smooth on the infield and sometimes sensational.
All right, so here we go back to the top of the order, and Mookie Betts.
You don't usually go through a game against the Dodgers and not have Betts and Freeman make an impact. Well, they've got these two at bats here, possibly, that they could change this game.
Betts has walked. Freeman has doubled and walked. Hayward a good lead. First pitch. Strike one on Betts, who has been more patient than ever.
He was taken all the way right there, just gathering some information.
On this 0-1, he takes low. And Mookie says, look, I've gotten to the place in my career where I realize you can't control whether or not you get hits, but you can control swinging at the right pitches. You can maximize your chances to have the hits follow by swinging at the right pitches. And he feels like this year, better than ever, he's doing that. Grounds this one foul, and it's 1-2. His chase rate is down there as low as anybody in baseball. Not that it's ever been high, but a whole new level of patience, selectiveness, selectivity, same thing. One's a word, one's not, but you know what I mean.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Behind Doyle 1-2, and now it evens up.
They're feeding him a heavy dose of sliders away.
Hayward inches off first. Betts on 2-2. Fouls it off. Stays alive. Six years with Boston, fourth year with the Dodgers already. Time has flown. There goes Hayward. Got a good jump. Betts cracks one into center field. It's down for a base hit. Hayward read it well and took third.
Mookie Betts gets a pitch he can hit. Jason Hayward understands that he is out no matter what back at first base. So you continue on when that ball is hit like that. There is no way he can get back to first. So he puts the go-ahead run at third, and Mookie standing at first.
That's going to spell the end of the night for Doyle as Bud Black comes out. Dodgers trailed this game 1-0 going into last inning. Muncy tied it with a homer and threatening to take their first lead. Well, the Dodgers have the right guy coming up here. Freddie Freeman, who is hitting .344 for the season. He's hitting .388 with runners in scoring position. That includes 14 of his last 28 in these situations. Danny Bard's on to face him.
Bard is a slider sinker guy when it's a righty, but against the lefty, pretty even. You're going to see a few more sinkers than sliders when you're the left-handed batter like Freddie. Interesting that Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman had a pretty deep conversation before this at bat.
Corner's playing in. Just misses off of the inside corner, does Bard, and a big ball one instead of strike one.
Freddie and Mookie might have been thinking about, am I going to steal or not, or you want me to keep that hole over there and stay put at first?
It is a massive hole for this 1-0 pitch. Freeman shoots it foul.
Typically, Freddie in these situations is not trying to do too much. You see him go to left center an awful lot. You even see that little slicing double down the left field line.
Looking for their first lead of the game. 1-1 pitch. Freddie Freeman takes ball 2. Will Smith on deck. That's in Rosario's spot. Hayward at third, Betts at first. 2 balls and a strike on Freddie Freeman. Here comes Bard. Freeman gets out of the way at ball 3.
Almost gets undressed. Lifts the arms up. Low bridge.
Stays in there so long. Here comes the 3-1. Freeman went around 3-2.
You don't see that very often. Freddie was cheating on that one, but he don't cheat very often. He gets a slider down. Normally he'd be passing the baton. 3-1 count. He's got life still.
Tie game, 8th inning. Check on Betts. Dodgers looking for their 4th consecutive win, looking for their 9th out of 10 games this month. And they're trying to do it in comeback fashion late. Diaz out to change some signs.
Calling that the second disengagement. Not going to give him a timeout.
Huh.
At least that's how I would understand those hand signals.
And so a balk would mean the go-ahead run. Betts inching his way off first. There he goes. Bard throws. Freeman takes ball 4 to load the bases. And here's Will Smith. Hell's pulled himself out of that bit of a lull. 7-game hitting streak on the line as he comes off of the bench here with a chance to give the Dodgers the lead. Hayward's at third, Betts at second, Freeman at first, and nowhere to put Will Smith. First pitch. Strike 1.
Bard starts him off with a fastball. I think what he's really looking for is a slider low and away, and Will's going to need to stay on it, try and hit it to the opposite field so he doesn't roll over it, because this Rocky infield can turn 2 now.
Already turned 2 double plays tonight. No balls and a strike. Here it comes. Smith swings and misses. 0-2.
2 hittable pitches, the fastball and now that up slider. That one is just saying, hit me.
And in recent weeks, more strikeouts than much of the season for Smith. And an 0-2 hole here. Bases loaded, 1 gone. Here it comes. 1-2.
Takes like that sometimes lead to good things. Could have easily been anxious to try and just put it in play with that pitch.
Third pinch hitter of the inning for the Dodgers. Smith Lifts it into left field. Shallow, sinking, and caught. Tovar with a grab. What a play by Ezequiel Tovar, running a mile to save the game for the Rockies.
You asked me earlier in the game, what's different about Omar Vizquel that this young man is compared to? Well, this is Omar Vizquel. This is what they saw. Ridiculous play.
Snow Cone keeps it 1-1. Redemption for Ezequiel Tovar, who in the Rockies' last game had a throwing error that allowed the winning run to score. Up to Muncy. 1 ball, no strikes. Muncy's home run in the 7th inning tied this game.
Do that this at bat, a grand slam, which the Dodgers are very good at.
The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 on Muncy. Bard's biggest issues throughout his career have been walks, and there's nowhere to put Max Muncy and nowhere to put a run on the scoreboard with a tie game.
He challenged Will Smith, but he has been trying to be edgy here to Muncy.
2-0. Got the call. 2-1. Max Muncy looking for a repeat of the July 29th game against the Reds when he homered twice. Won the game by himself 3-2. On this 2-1, he takes high, ball 3.
Daniel Bard in his past has battled some anxiety, some release point issues, and you get to a 3-1 count, bases loaded. Some old ghosts might show back up.
Dodgers take the lead. Bases loaded, walk Max Muncy. Hayward's in to score, and it's 2-1 in the 8th.
The energy in the building right now is definitely home field advantage. These Dodger fans are affecting Bard on the mound. The different spray pattern there that he had definitely tells you that he looked relaxed, but it creeps into your grip pressure and you start kind of pulling and tugging at the ball.
Well, the Dodgers have done this in this inning with the benefit of just 1 hit. Brusdar Gratterall's been loosening. Now, the lone hit in this inning, Betts single. But Peralta, Freeman, and Muncy all with walks. And our Chris Taylor with a chance for some anxiety-reducing insurance.
The Dodgers got the sweep in Arizona because of 2 runs in the 8th. They get 1 tonight in the 8th to take the lead.
Good take. 1-0. Taylor's got 2 grand slams this year, including his 100th career home run. On a 1-0 from Bard, Taylor grounds it foul. 1-1. That was the 2 outs that Peralta came through yesterday in the 2-0 win. Done with 2 outs again here in the 8th. 1-1 pitch, ball 2. Bard fires. Taylor. Check swing foul. 2-2. For the Rockies in the 9th inning. Top of the order coming up. Profar, Tovar, McMahon. And it looks like it will be Brustar Graterol. Evan Phillips, who saved the last 2 days in Phoenix. Here's the 2-2.
Chris, in this count, should get another pitch to hit. Bart does not want to get to the 3-2 count after walking the go-ahead run in.
Bases loaded, 2 out, and a 2-2 pitch again. Taylor hits it in the air to left field, but not deep. Profar waits for it to come down and ends the inning, but the Dodgers have taken the lead. A bases loaded walk from Max Muncy. Fasten those seatbelts to the 9th in a 1-run game.
Max Muncy to tie it up. Well, how did he tie it up? Well, this pitch sequence where he was gauging Ty Block with an outstanding outing against the Dodgers. They had very few hits, but this one counted. 12 hits off of lefties for Muncy, 8 of them home runs. That tied it up, and then Max comes up. Yeah, he would love to hit when you're swinging a hot bat, but here, being disciplined, watching a few, and watching the last one to put the Dodgers on top.
So he's knocked in both in this 2-1 affair. To the 9th inning we go, and with Evan Phillips having pitched the last 2 days, it's going to be Brustar Graterol looking for his first save since June.
It'll be good to follow the pattern that Yarbrough and Kershaw set, which was a whole bunch of first pitch strikes. So get the strike one, put this young team right in your back pocket.
Top of the order for the Rockies. Strike one on Profar. Strike one on Profar. 1 for 3 today. One of the 4 hits for the Rockies. Got their lone run and a homer from Elaris Montero in the 5th. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2.
Dodger pitching has been outstanding in August. A 2.86 ERA. That is first in the National League. And it has been the thing that the Dodgers have been waiting for to come around. Now with a whole bunch of veterans in the rotation, the health coming back, and the bullpen finding its legs, Mark Pryor is very happy with what the staff is doing for a nice period of time.
Last 2 days, just 1 run, just that solo shot. They had the shutout yesterday. Only the Brewers have more shutouts this year. Bouncing ball to third. Chris Taylor plays there now and puts it on the target across the diamond. Just about everybody's at a different spot on the field at this point with all those pinch hitters last inning. In fact, the only 2 guys that remain the same defensively from the 8th to the 9th are Freeman at first and Outman to center. You got Peralta and Hayward on the corners now. And you saw Taylor make that play at third. Middle infield now Hernandez and Betts at second with Smith catching. 1-0 on Tovar.
It's a pickup game, and guys are just asking where they want to play.
Right. Roll the balls out there.
You go play short. I'll catch.
1-1. Ground ball left side. Hernandez gets in front of it, flings it across. 2 gone in the 9th. From third to short and silky smooth no matter where.
It's one thing to move guys around. It's one thing for guys to say, I'm willing to do it. It's another thing for them to flash it like that. Nice to have you back, Kike.
Rockies down to their last out. Good hitter up there, though. Ryan McMahon. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers have scored 4 runs the last 2 games, but have a chance to go 2-0 in those 2. The 2-0 win yesterday. 2-1 lead here with 2 out in the 9th inning. Graterol's 1-0. Strike 1. Got 99 by McMahon. Just misses. 2-1.
Bruce Starr changing his pacing every once in a while when he comes set. He's been asked to be more deliberate, especially from Manny Machado.
2-2. Ball game. 1-2-3 ninth for Bruce Starr Gratterall. A gem from this pitching staff tonight. And for the second time in the last 2 weeks, Max Muncy drives in all the runs in a Dodger win.
Welcome back, Clayton Kershaw. It's a fun night to see Kershaw Appreciation Night, and then for Yarbrough to follow through, and then Gratterall to finish it off. Big night to start the homestand.
Bullpen faces the minimum in those 4 scoreless innings. Just the 1 hit against Yarbrough. The 1-2-3 ninth inning for Bruce Starr Gratterall. Dodgers have won 4 straight. They've won 9 of 10 in August. They are 68-46. 2-1 the final score. Brewer Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Fernando Knight tomorrow as his number 34 goes up in the rafters. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers right now.